the Twitch. We got ourselves, what the, oh god, Jesus. We're way out of the map. I have never been this far out of the map, chat. I don't know how that happened, but we see some secrets. Okay, you guys ready? This is gonna be a trip. Woo, that was fun. I never had that happen before. I never seen the outside of the map like that. That's interesting. We got ourselves Haster over team 1 with Lathamar gonna be first up. Got himself the Shroud. Looking to see if he can fight versus Jim Rat Lek. As Lek spawning in a demon. Still big disintegrates following. He can't really stop Lathamar. Big blaster right now. It's gonna be massive damage. Has a chicken for a big dragon rage, dragon breath. But he does pick up the demonic soul, slaying the demon. Big hunter follow. Lath could be in trouble. Oh! And Jim Rad does end up taking him out with, it's going to be Bowie Hunt. Doesn't even give him a chance. The range, what is that sprint? Oh, it's actually so cheesy looking. That was so weird. He literally didn't even like charge out. He just ran to him. But Jim is going to be able to get himself a demon. That demon's going to be able to break out of the freezing trap immediately. Slaying the demon, picking up the demonic soul. 20% more damage. Should be fairly effective. Trying to see if he can catch up to Bowie Hunt as they're trying to avoid him. Big kill shots to follow. Does have a little bit of that coordinated assault on him. So he's able to get a couple of those kill shots back to back. Doing some terrible damage to Jim. Big eye beam from a distance. I think potentially could take him down. Gonna be big. Oh, flayed shot to get even more kill shots in there, but couldn't quite do it. Jim is in a bit of a trouble. Actually under a ton of pressure. Speed could potentially be giving him a lot of hurting. Trying to go for a quick fear onto the demon hunter. It's gonna be fully rotted down, dotted down, so hard to follow. With a drain life right after, maybe in a bit of trouble. Needs to find a way to stop it. Needs to get some kind of healing. Darkness may be enough here. Does get interrupted by Speedy. And Speedy looking to blast him out. Quick drain. Jim maybe in a bit of trouble. Lek, I think maybe going down here. Trying to shear any kind of souls off of Speed, but does go down as the Warlock gets to rot you away. Big Zabs by Chicago, potentially massive damage. Trinket by Chicago, wall by Speedy. Got himself a lot of healing, cannot get interrupted, so this way you could go for a lot of recovery, especially with all those pets. Put Agonist in every one of them, it should be pretty good. Trying to see if he can knock him away from Portal. I think the man is just trying to take a port if possible, but he got knocked back. That's actually a very good move by Chicago. If that's what they were trying to do. If they were trying to get Speedy out of the portal. Does drop down and cast in circle. Needs to find a way to interrupt him. Does he have stuns? Chicago trying to see if he can knock him around. Do they have maybe a tremor totem? Does not play tremor. So actually could be to a detriment to Chicago. If they play tremor, would be able to deal with those fears quite handily. No grounding either. So Chicago's playing a very, very different build than what I expected. Maybe just a full survivability build. Not looking for the support totems, but just looking to increase maybe their own healing and damage output. He's gonna go behind the pillar, try to catch up a little bit. Them dots are rotting you though. You're under a ton of pressure the whole time. You're just gonna be thinking about your health. And eventually for Speedy, like he's not even just gonna budge from his position. He is perfectly fine chilling where he's at because he got himself a dominant spot. Putting the person out in the open, let the dots do work. Chicago looking to boop him out of the way with the root right after. Trying to mitigate the damage as best as possible. Cast a circle, trying to see if he can knock him out of it. Maybe could interrupt him. Does give himself a little bit of CC chains out to Speedy. So Rod to follow could potentially be in a big trouble. Fear on Chicago. Maybe goes in for Dougler. Does not have Dougler yet. Chicago with a wall, but not a lot of mana real left. Stun around the corner. Speedy could just push in. He just needs to get some fears on Chicago. Just need to control, not let Chicago go for any kind of heals. And he'll be in a fantastic spot as the Warlock does go for a lot of recovery. My goodness, the amount of pressure Affliction can put up right now, just from damage over time, is incredible. Sunder by Chicago, Mortal Coil sent in by Speedy. Dark Pact at the ready. Chicago did have a bit of a flesh scout to hold him off for a little bit, but now kind of exposed. It's all about using Maelstrom efficiently. And Speedy just trying to keep the pressure, just pushing on Chicago. He just wants to make sure Chicago doesn't get to sit behind the pillar and just cast the entire time. It's going to be a root with a knockback. Could potentially go for a port. Try to reposition. As long as you get a couple of dots and you spam fear Chicago and get a couple of malefic raptures, you could just push him over the edge. Trying to end the deal before the dampener really skyrockets. Chicago could potentially have a big go too. Does play very, very defensively, but could potentially go for a big, massive go versus Speedy. Just needs a bit of Maelstrom. A little bit of a double lightning bolt zap. Speedy with a dark pack really early on. Wait, actually for Chicago, this could be a pretty good move for this guy, for Speedy, because he got him some plenty of defense at a time, but no, stun around the corner as they do bleed out. I was thinking maybe Speedy using the dark pack. I was like, wait, if Chicago just wait out the dark pack, maybe they could crack through his defenses. Nah, the dots have sent ya. The dots have got you just killing over the edge. Step Bro gonna be up next. Trying to get some pressure onto Chicago. Full Fury up by the Warlock. Big death marker to the Warlock with a sepsis on top of it. This is where Wall should help him stay alive, but that quick interrupt by the Rogue taking him down, not giving him a chance. And Haster is going to be up next, trying to send the man to a pasture. Trying to see if we can hit him with a quick Shadow Crash. Does not quite connect. Does Step Bro go in for big burst? He has to go for a bit of bleeds. He doesn't have the biggest go right now. He just used all of that onto the Warlock. But against Haster, as long as he can get a proper stun, he'll be in a great position. Gonna be a full big channel for Haster. Try to keep the damage rolling into the Step Bro. May have to force out a trick out of him. It's gonna be tricky potentially with Cloak of Shadows. Does hit on the Mind Games. Does go for Cloak of Shadows and the dots. Are gonna send him over the edge with advantage. Forcing everything out of the Rogue. Maybe Shadow Crush connects. Oh, that was actually so extremely close. If only that was a little bit further. But Haster was able to force everything out of the Rogue. And if you can just set him up in a Fear, Stun, Fall combo, he could be in a great spot. Trinkets out, Fear onto the Rogue. There's nothing he can really do. Does himself a big go. Gonna be a Siphon on top of it with a Mind Flay into maybe some Shadowboard Deaths. DP, VT, the guy got nothing left. I think he's realized that it's over. As Haster does end up sending him over the edge. Did have to burn a Trinket though, so for the next competitor, he may have needed that Trinket, as Flames is going to be up next. At least Haster has every defensive at the ready. So if he tries to get aggressive and forces cooldowns on Flamestorm before he can force cooldowns out of him, that'll probably be a better situation. Has to go for this burst, as it's going to be a full hunt together with a Soul Cleave. Just puts him under a ton of pressure. May need CC in order to control the Demon Hunter. I don't know if that Shadow Crush connects. He's like way up in the air. Does that connect or does not? Big Void Eruptions does end up connecting. Big damage is going to be Flame taking a bit of dot damage together with that channel of that full Void Eruption or Void Torrent. Massive eye for Mind Games onto Flame is going to actually deny him a little bit of healing, a little bit of damage. Wants to slay the demon, but he knows he needs to be very, very careful. He's going to be able to cleanse all the dots back into Haster, but there's a Siphon on him. Flame is in a bad spot. Haster doesn't have any more CC. He just needs a little bit more mobility. Flames, I think, Shadow Melt? No, he was rooted. I was thinking Shadow Melt for a second, just stop in place, but it's actually just rooted. Haster potentially could take it down south. Oh, Shadow Priest taking these boys out. Look at this guy go. Oh my god. This Nightmare from Beyond taking down the Demon Hunter? Dude, I never would have thought a Shadow Priest could take down Demon Hunter back in Shadowlands. There's just no way. Look at the Shadow Priest, man. How far have they gone? Embracing the Priest identity and getting a bit more self-healing does help out a lot. Nightness is going to be up next. Dude bleeds. Send Haster to another grave. Try got him some Dark Ascension. Open for maybe 1 eruptions. Does he get him? 1 eruption, 2nd eruption. That's actually a lot of horrified damage with a Mind Gets to follow. No interrupt by the Feral Joint. Could be actually another pressure with a Siphon after. Void Shard. Oh my god, Haster! This guy's insane. Oh, Shadow Priests are back, boys. This man popping off. I guess a Feral Druid. I guess a Rogue and a Demon Hunter. These are the 3 classes that I think just bully Shadow Priest. From Shadowlands, these are the classes that easily bully Shadow Priest. But this man just does not give up. This man does not surrender. I love it. Let's get another one going, boys, yeah?